Hello everyone. Okay, let me introduce myself. I am Shiv Mathur, and I'm been working for last 30 years. I'm an electrical engineer by qualification. I did my engineering in 1989 from NIT Warangal, which is in Andhra Pradesh, and I did my schooling in Rajasthan in Kota, and then I joined the Indian Navy. Worked there for 16 years and quit Indian Navy as a rank, in the rank of commander, and in 2005 from Delhi Naval Headquarters. And then I worked in corporate sector for 14 years. Worked in large companies like IBM, Tata, and presently I'm working in Geo, but I'm quitting my company next month because I'm getting full time into meditation teaching, because it's just happening that I have to conduct workshops, classes, so I can't be in both the places, and that's my passion and that's my pursuit. So I I had an awakening 4 years back in 2015 when I came back from Saudi Arabia. I was working in Saudi Telecom and I quit my job in 2 months. I didn't like it, came back, and then I joined one company called Juniper Networks, American company, and after that I came to Geo. So that was my professional career path. So in 2015 I had a strong calling to go to Rishikesh, and before that I had a, before I talk about my rapid progress in my spiritual journey and meditation, I will tell you it did not happen all of a sudden. There was a lot of curiosity in me 7 8 years back about what are the yogis, who are the yogis who live in the mountains. They don't study anything, they're isolated, but they get all the knowledge. How do they live and what do they do and how do they do it? What is their goal? So I had that curiosity. I mean, what do the yogis do? I read one book by Paul Brenton about secrets of India. I don't read books actually, but it was so the curiosity was so strong. Then I went and searched for a book about saints in India. So uh, in 2013, I was in Jakarta for a few months, and it was a very tough project for me. So I was alone for 2 months, and then I got into reading Bhagavad Gita in the night. I downloaded online and I read few chapters and I understood what it means, and it gave me a lot of peace. And then I came back to Pune and I had again some 4 months of free time, and I was off and on. I used to read online Bhagavad Gita, which I had downloaded on my mobile. So that started kind of giving me some clarity. And then I went to Saudi Arabia and came back, and I had a strong urge to go to Rishikesh. So I've reached Rishikesh, uh, and for very first night I was sleeping for 4 hours in the night, and then I was wondering what is happening. Next night also I changed my timings, but again I woke up in 4 hours. So I started searching on the net on my mobile about the saints in Rishikesh, and I came across one Tatwale Baba who died in 74, and he lived in a cave near Rishikesh, very close to Rishikesh. I mean, almost there, just behind Swarg Ashram, Parmat Niketan. So, I mean, there was no geolocation given in the on the net where he lives, but there was quite a few things written about him by some Italian guy. Then I searched some videos, and there are just hardly one or two videos about him. So I started hunting for that cave, and I reached that cave after searching. And very first day I met the Swami who lives there, who's 82-year-old now, and he was a disciple of that Tatwale Baba, who died in 74. If you look at Tatwale Baba, he looks like Shivji. Such a strong personality, such eyes, have so much depth, such strong eyes, such strong radiance in the body. Even if you see on the video, if you meet him in person, it'll be pretty shocking to see him, like what kind of personality he was. It was amazing. So, so I met his disciple Swami Shankar Das, who manages a cave, and he stays down below. Then, but he goes in the afternoon, spends his daytime there. And he was having a bhandara, which is like he was feast. There was a feast every year in the memory of Tatwale Baba, and thousand sadhus were eating. So, he told me to come next day. So I went inside the cave for a minute and then came out and went back. Next day I came again and I spent 3 4 hours with him. So to cut it short, like when I went to the cave, he made me sit, and there were 2 3 people there who were come to arrange for the feast a day before, and they were leaving that place. So they offered me lunch. I ate, and then I bowed in front of the samadhi of Tatwale Baba, and for about a couple of minutes, I was kind of blank. My mind was completely blank, and I was not even thinking of anything, asking for anything, or even praying. So it was a very interesting feeling. And then I came out of it, and because I realized that, so I've come to talk to Swamiji, I can't be standing like this. So I came out, started talking. We had a very long conversation. Initially, it was not very close, because when you meet somebody, he doesn't know what you come for. So he's more in a questioning mode. What do you want? What is your goal? What is this? Why you come here? But then when he started relating to my thoughts, and I started relating to his thoughts, our discussion became very intense, and we spoke for 3 hours, and it was evening. It was getting cold. It was November, end November. So I wanted to take his permission to leave, and finally I got up, and then I again bowed to the samadhi, and again same thing happened, that I felt so peaceful, so blissful, and my mind was completely silent, completely silent. So I was little shocked, what is this which has happened? So I could not resist asking Swamiji. I asked him, Swamiji, this is something which I've experienced just now today, and can you explain me that? I felt very blissful, and my mind remained completely empty. It was completely peaceful. So what is this? So he told me, your mind has become stable and you have no questions left. So it's something like they say, one other definition of samadhi. Samadhi has many definitions. Samadhi means if you have no thoughts left in your mind, they're not bothering you, then also it's samadhi. So I'm not saying that I went into a samadhi state, but these are all definitions, but I'm just sharing my experience, what it happened. And I never used to meditate, or I was never into yoga also. I mean, I've just done yoga 2 years back in Bombay. I used to have a personal yoga teacher coming home and teaching me and my wife. So that's where I started my yoga, though my wife has been doing yoga pretty early in life. She does it now also. She does meditation also now. But I was never into meditation, yoga. In fact, some time back, I never used to go to a temple also. So when I went down to the ashram where I was staying, Yog Niketan in Rishikesh, I asked one of the yoga teacher, who was quite young, but looks quite radiant and good chap. So I asked him, this is what I've experienced. Can you tell me what exactly is this? He said, he was very casual, and I mean, obviously he's in that field, so he knows what he's talking. And for me, it is like all completely, God knows what it is. So he said, you have attained something which everybody is trying to attain. I mean, he said, he said something in Hindi कि जो सब कुछ लोगों को वो मिलने की चाह है, जो लोग सभी चाह रहे हैं, वो आपको मिल गया. That's what he said, and I said, okay, I don't know what he means. So then I was wondering, is it temporary or it is permanent? What has happened? So for 2 days I didn't try to even figure out what was it, and just thinking that I might lose it, what has been given to me as a kind of a gift. So after 2 days I went to another temple, and I thought, let me try, and sat in front of the deity and again folded my hands, and it was the same experience. So I said, okay, it seems to be staying. So then I came back to Bombay, and then I could see that my mind remained calm and silent. The thoughts, I could feel that thoughts, even they're getting triggered, and they are just dropping off before entering my mind. Like if I say a sentence, full sentence, the first word itself, moment the first word is formed, before it is actually formed and starts flowing into my mind, it drops off. So I could feel that the entire sentence, thought means sentence, suppose. Thought will have some sentence. So the first word itself was falling off. And some point of time I felt, oh, what the hell? I mean, why, how come my mind is empty? Why is nothing coming inside? So it was a little frustrating sometimes to see, that you're not thinking anything. Then I was wondering why all this happened and how it happened. So I started actually doing a kind of analysis deep down, and why it happened. I mean, it happened all of a sudden. So then I started analyzing how the thoughts come, and when the mind becomes focused, it starts giving you answers fast. So I started getting my answers at how the mind can do like this. So basically, when I want to sit and meditate, switch off my mind, I can switch off my mind completely. And like at a given point of time, you're doing something. When you're doing something, or you are not even doing something, if you're thinking of something, you can just think of that thing, what you want to think. But nothing else comes to your mind. It doesn't bother you. if I'm doing something, I'm focused into that. Nothing else is bothering me actually. So I'm not worried. So I'm not worried though. Obviously, there are no worries and no thoughts come. Because most of the thoughts are coming out of some worries. So, that kind of state I reached, and it's pretty permanent now. So then I was kind of analyzing, and I made a human mirror. I said, let's make a human mirror, because what I analyzed, what I found, I said how the mind works, how the mind is kind of processing thoughts, from where are the thoughts getting triggered. Let's understand that. And okay, then I understood this, and I said, okay, let me make a human mirror where people can look into them, inside themselves, and see what they are doing actually, and how they're operating, and that will change them. Where they can change, how can they change themselves, and if they change themselves, what happens, how does the mind work, can they attain peace. Its meditation is not about sitting for a few minutes. If you read our Vedas, or you read Yoga Sutras by Swami Rama, his videos, wonderful videos, if you read about. So I've been following a lot of saints now. I've visited a lot of ashrams, Tirunamala and Chennai, and my spiritual calling has been taking me to all these places. And everywhere I think I'm getting some blessings, a lot of experience are there, which I can't tell everything right now. So I finished a long trip to Gangotri, Kedarnath. I drove down from Pune in my car, went to Gangotri, Yamuna, Kedarnath, Almora, Neem Kurli Baba Ashram, and met a lot of saints there living in the caves and all. I'm making a video out of that, just for making people aware that what life is and how they live life, their teachings, their ideas, and such people exist, and what you can learn from these people. That was my initial curiosity about yogis living in the mountains, so I was curious to find out. So there are a lot of interesting yogis living there, and if you meet them, listen to them, you can transform yourself, and you can still live in the earth, you can still live here and live with peace. You know what you want in life. Then today, none of us want what you want in life and what is going to give us happiness. We are all running. How much we have to run? What do we really want? We have no idea, and that's why we want to meditate now. Somebody said, meditate, you will get peace. Now, meditate doesn't mean that you sit with your eyes closed